Straight ahead on CCX News, programs that not only deliver food, but also security.
Occasionally we'll find someone who is very sick or is fainted or obviously is in distress.
Then, new rules for development in the metro along the Mississippi River. But first, a warning about the ice. Sure, it's been cold, but authorities say know what you're walking on.
You get ice, you get slush, a little snow on top of it, and then you get ice again.
CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. There is always a risk when you get out on a frozen lake.
Law enforcement officials say with the unusual weather over the weekend, it could weaken the ice. Here's Eric Nelson.
I've heard there's crappies here, there's walleyes here, I hear there's northerns here, so it's whatever you can get. The action is what I'm out here for.
Despite thin ice warnings, Mao Zhang and a friend strolled onto Eagle Lake today, looking for fish.
I'm confident that it's safe. Seen a lot of people came here last week when it was a lot colder, and they were more than 300-400 yards out.
Zhang, however, realizes that going on the ice can be a roll of the dice, even in frigid Minnesota.
There's always that fear, so you can't always be the hardcore one to get out there. You don't want to be the first one, and you sure don't want to be the last one.
Experts are warning people to be extremely cautious before going on the ice.
Ice in Minnesota is never totally safe, and the reason is you get changing, shifting conditions. So keep in mind that you've got underwater streams, irrigation channels, all kinds of things that weaken that ice.
So just how thick does the ice have to be? Well, according to the DNR, you need at least 4 inches to walk out on it, 5 inches to bring out your ATV or snowmobile, and 8 to 12 inches to drive a light truck or car on the ice.
Recent rain, wind, and mild weather can make gauging ice thickness tricky.
When we had the rain the other day, you sometimes get several layers. You get ice, you get slush, a little snow on top of it, and then you get ice again.
Last winter, there were 5 ice rescues in Hennepin County. This season, there have been none, which is just the way first responders want it.
People take chances and risks all the time, but when they take those chances and risks and they go bad, then our first responders got to go out and rescue them, and that puts their life in peril and jeopardy.
In Maple Grove, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
A cold snap is expected to arrive next week, which should make for thicker ice.
Brooklyn Center Police are responding to a video that shows one of their officers trying to get a suspect to comply. Police are investigating the incident that happened Tuesday in a Brooklyn Center parking lot.
Don't reach for anything. Don't move. I'll put you in the back of your head if you move again. You understand me?
In a statement, Brooklyn Center's police chief says the suspect was wanted in a crime and was actively evading law enforcement. Chief Tim Gannon goes on to say while the use of a forceful command may be necessary to ensure safety, he says threatening language is never appropriate or acceptable. Nobody was hurt during the encounter, and Chief Gannon says the department will thoroughly review the incident.
In Plymouth, police are looking into how a 78-year-old man wandered away from a senior care facility, fell, and later died. Police say it happened on December 11th. When officers found the man, he was back inside the facility in a wheelchair. The report says he was breathing but unresponsive and had an abrasion on his head. It's not clear how long the man was outside. He was taken to a hospital where he died on December 17th.
A local nonprofit is serving up more than a meal for elderly clients who they see every day at home. Sonia Goins explains.
Volunteers with Northwest Suburban Dinner at Your Door are getting ready to make the rounds. After packaging meals, crews get instructions.
We are only heating the one they're going to eat today.
It's important to be organized. About 135 meals are delivered to the elderly and folks with disabilities. David Madera is a volunteer from Crystal. He's been doing this type of work for 4 years.
I do it the first Tuesday of every month, and then I'm usually on call if they need somebody.
One of his stops is at the home of 93-year-old Elaine Knowles.
And we brought your paper in so you didn't have to go down the...
The lifelong Crystal resident is homebound.
Oh, isn't it cute?
Besides dinner, Elaine is getting something else, companionship.
When I'm home alone all day long, and so when these people bring my dinner, I figure, well, here's my chance to get in a little visit.
While Elaine is getting nourishment for the body and soul, her family is also getting something, peace of mind. Drivers also check on folks to make sure they're okay.
Occasionally we'll find someone who is very sick or is fainted or obviously is in distress. And nobody has been there because they live alone.
You're special to us.
Meanwhile, Elaine says the act of kindness from volunteers is priceless.
It just means the world to me. I tell you, I can't tell you how good the whole thing is. It's just great.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Dinner at Your Door is in need of volunteers, and more information on how to volunteer is available on our website, ccxmedia.org.
It has been a good year for residential home construction in the Twin Cities. Plymouth led the way in the Northwest Metro with 286 permits issued. That's according to the Builders Association of the Twin Cities. Only Blaine and Lakeville issued more permits. In fact, 2016 was the best year for residential construction in a decade. Building permits were up 11% over last year. You may have put off making financial decisions during the busy holiday shopping season.
But time is running out if you have some items on your financial checklist to take care of by the end of the year. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains in today's Money Savers.
Financial resolutions are some of the top resolutions made each year. But before the new year rolls in, here are some smart money moves to make while it's still 2016.
I encourage planning, not just waiting to the last second.
We sat down with Larry Colvig from the Haven Financial Group to talk about those money moves.
I encourage you to do due diligence on the charities that you donate. I encourage my clients certainly to don't overlook anything.
Colvig says plan ahead on where to donate your money. You can check out the validity of nonprofits on charitynavigator.org. If you plan to donate your time, remember you can deduct any expenses from volunteering, like mileage, but you cannot deduct your hours.
Make sure you keep good receipts.
Once you've given to others, now think about yourself.
One thing is to make sure you're contributing, and you hear this all the time, to your 401ks, doing those contributions. Are you taking advantage of company matching?
Then consider checking into your flex spending account to make sure you aren't losing money.
Many people don't realize is for many plans, that money can be gone as December 31st if you don't use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Why would you do that? Now, there are some that allow a grace period. My encouragement would be just know your plans.
And finally, if you have a student at home, think about paying next semester's tuition before the end of the year, so you can include that deduction in your taxes.
Who wants to pay the spring bill early? Nobody, but depending upon individual situations, that might be a tax break for this year.
Colvig says planning ahead makes all the difference in maximizing your money.
Failure to plan is a plan to fail. Planning doesn't come easy for lots of people, and everybody will tell you that, but we're starting a new year. If you're not good at planning, budgeting, any of those things, maybe this is the year to do that no matter what the age.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Another tax tip is to pay your January mortgage or property tax before 2017 is here and deduct the mortgage interest on your next tax return. Coming up, a look back at a night that we all remember from 2016.
And later in sports, action from one of the top holiday girls hockey tournaments as two local teams play in semi-final contests.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast. Time now for a look back at one of the big stories that made news in 2016, and that was the weather.
It was a record wet year with more than 40 inches of precipitation. We survived one of the biggest snowfalls in years early in 2016. Then summer ended with a rainstorm that brought 10 inches of rain to the Northwest Metro in September. Sonia Goins takes a look back.
They called it the 100-year flood. 2 to 3 inches of rain fell in 45 minutes. There was so much water on the roads, MnDOT brought out a snowplow to clear water on Interstate 94 near Highway 169. The gushing rains caused a big-time headache for residents in Maple Grove. The area of Larch Lane and 92nd Avenue looked like a swamp.
I think the sewer broke. and the water come up just like a volcano.
Cuvette Wynn's Toyota Camry couldn't make it through the high water.
I see the cup of coffee floating. I said, no. Is that the water in the car?
Public Works crews used an industrial-sized pump to get rid of the rainwater. The rain also caused problems for homeowners. Valerie Felder's Parker's basement took in a lot of water.
We got about at least 8 inches of water in our basement.
Valerie has lived in this home for 4 years and says she's never seen anything like this.
It's all wet.
Brooklyn Park also felt the wrath of Mother Nature. The rain fell so hard, backyards were turned into lakes.
Going down to the lake behind our house, which, oh yeah, it used to be dry.
Experts with the National Weather Service say a wet summer doesn't necessarily mean we're due for a snowy winter, but early indications are we'll see more snow and colder temperatures than last year. Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Homeowners who suffered damage could be eligible for a FEMA grant or a low-interest federal loan.
The clock is winding down on 2016, but this year we'll have to wait 1 extra second to ring in 2017. In addition to this being a leap year, we'll also be getting a leap second added on to our clocks. That extra second will appear on December 31st, and it could cause computer systems to crash if no action is taken. The Golden Valley-based computer consortium Logis, employees there are working to ensure local cities are not negatively affected.
Most of our systems are okay. There's a few, just in an abundance of caution, we're turning off our time sync until after the leap second's over, and then we'll turn it back on.
It sounds simple. The leap second is added to the clock about every 18 months to ensure that the location of the Earth keeps up with the actual time. That's not so simple.
No.
Coming up, we'll take you to Wizard School, where kids learn the science behind the magic.
But first, Park Center's boys basketball team gets a big task. Jay Wilcox has that and much more coming up next in sports.
I'm Jay Wilcox with sports. The Park Center boys basketball team is off to a great start. The 4th-ranked Pirates carried a 5-0 record into their holiday tournament opener against Cretin-Durham Hall at the University of St. Thomas. The Raiders running the break here. Jalen Newton finishes for an 11-7 Cretin lead. PC makes a run though. Emmanuel Tamba drives and scores. It's 14-13 Pirates. Late in the first half, a nice move underneath by Dane Danja for the hoop and foul for Park Center. And then Losini Kamara finds Jarius Cook and he nails the three-pointer. The Pirates are up 36-24 at halftime. In the second half, Kamara with a quick move to the basket for the hoop plus a foul. Another strong drive here by Tamba gives Park Center a 57-47 lead. The Raiders rally late, but the Pirates hold on for a 64-61 win. Park Center's district rival Osseo is also aiming for a tournament title this week. The Orioles are 5-1 with their only loss coming to Park Center. This is footage from Osseo's 95-62 win over Cooper right before Christmas. The Orioles are headed northwest to Moorhead for a tournament Thursday and Friday. They take on Stillwater in the first round on Thursday. 4 of Osseo's 5 wins are by 24 points or more. Maple Grove's girls hockey team ran off an 11-game winning streak following a season-opening loss to Edina. The Crimson had another shot at the Hornets as the teams faced off in the semifinals of the Walser tournament in Edina. Anna Klein passes to Brooke Tucker, and her wrist shot finds the back of the Crimson net. Edina leads 1-0 on a first-period power play goal. Then Klein drives hard to the net and snipes in a great shot from a tough angle. Edina leads Maple Grove 2-0 through 1 period. A good scoring chance for Maple Grove in the second, but Anna Goldstein stops Katie Denicky from point-blank range to keep the Crimson off the board. At the other end, Brianna Blessy comes up with a huge save, stopping Lolita Fiddler and keeping this a 2-0 game. Taylor Wente gets a good scoring chance for Maple Grove, but her shot clangs off the post and it's still 2-0. The Crimson get as close as 2-1, but it's Edina skating into the final with their second win this year over Maple Grove. In the other semifinal at the Walser tournament, Breck meets Eastview. Grace Zumwink with the first period breakaway, and she tucks it away with a backhander for a goal and a 1-0 Mustangs lead. Second period, and the state's leading goal scorer is on the move again. This time Zumwinkle sets up Carly Bienick for the goal to put Breck up 2-0. The Lightning respond to make it a one-goal game again as number 8 Annie Luzum bangs home a rebound, and it's 2-1. But Gophers recruit Zumwinkle gets free again to score, putting Breck up by a 3-1 count. Later in the second, the Mustangs give the puck away in their zone, but goalie Ali Francis comes up with a big save to keep it a 2-goal lead. Kendall Williamson puts the game away in the third period with a backhand goal on the short side for Breck. They skate into the Walser final with a 4-1 win. The Schwann Cup tournament features 5 divisions for girls hockey. The North Metro Stars are skating in one of the 2 open divisions. North Metro facing Marshall in second round play. On a power play, the Stars work the pass across to Kayla Shadle, and her slap shot flutters in for the only goal of the first period. So it's 1-0 North Metro through 1. Second period, and Marshall's Tessa Caudron fans on her first try, and then a stop by Sophie Almquist, but Rachel Van Kulen is there for the rebound, and the Tigers tie it up 1-1. The Stars again on a power play. Emily Shalene slides it to Anna Ballweber for the shot from the slot, and it's 2-1 North Metro. Marshall responds though less than a minute later as Sydney Mauk scores from the slot on the rush. It's 2-2 through 2 periods and stays that way through regulation. In overtime, Marshall's unable to clear it. Shadle fires, and Aaliyah Bjork is there to bury the rebound as North Metro wins 3-2 for their first victory of the season. They added a 3-2 win over Evelyn Gilbert on Wednesday morning. And that's it for sports. Back to you, Mike and Alex.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. Well, stay tuned. When we come back, local students get a little taste of Hogwarts.
There are wands and a bit of wizardry happening in New Hope. And finally, students may be out on winter break, but there is a different kind of school in session in New Hope.
We are at Wizard School at the New Hope Ice Arena, and right now we are making wands.
9-year-old Nolan Smush dressed for the part in his Harry Potter robe, tie, and glasses. He is one of about a dozen kids taking part in the Science Explorers Wizard School Day Camp that was offered by the cities of Crystal and New Hope. Activities for the day included making wands with batteries, wires, and a small light bulb, as well as learning a little bit about the science behind magic.
I think the best part about this class is that the hands-on aspect of it. The kids are really engaged. They're really actively getting involved with what they're working on.
The grade school students also had the chance to grow crystals in water, so not a bad way to spend a Wednesday at Wizard School.
With no school, it's pretty good, something to do.
Absolutely. That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Thursday starting at 4.